Greetings, tubers. I hope your new year is going well. I think this is only my third video, I think, since the calendar rolled around. Um, so not quite as active as I've been in the past. But at any rate, just something really quick today. There was something that happened so a month and a half, two months ago, roughly, to someone, not myself, but someone else, and I don't really want to give a lot of the details, just because I don't feel it's my place to say anything, even though if I did give a lot of the details, anybody watching this probably wouldn't have a clue what I was talking about anyways, because nobody knows where I live, and nobody knows who this person is. It's not a famous person that this event happened to, but I'm keeping it purposely ambiguous, confidentiality reasons. Now, the reason why I wanted to bring this up, albeit in a very vague and nondescript way, is because this event is something. It was on the news, not the national news, but the local news where I live, and a lot of the a lot of the people that I work with knew this. Knows this person that this event happened to. So I asked people. I asked people to tell me what happened to John. What we'll say his name is. And every person I asked said something that was not exactly the same as what anybody else had said, and even beyond, not totally agreeing on precisely exactly what happened, detail for detail. Each person said things that the other person contradicted. One person said that X happened to John. Another person said not X happened to John, or P and not P. The basic underlying event, which did actually happen, everybody agreed upon. But the secondary details, the minor details, people would not necessarily report all of them. People would not necessarily people would say things that another person would deny in their description. So no two people agreed on the details, but they did agree on the event itself, and that it involved John. Now, this event happened, and everybody agrees that it happened, but as I just said, the secondary details they disagreed upon, and I would further add that as far as I can tell, it's impossible to really tell for sure if people are lying or telling the truth, except maybe if you hook them up to a lie detector. But this doesn't seem like the kind of thing that people would that everybody that I asked would lie about. So the fact is that when something happens, at least in this case, different people will report what they have seen or what they have heard in different ways. This is significant for Christian apologetics uh, because of the four Gospels in the New Testament. Each report the um, the resurrection of Jesus. And with Mark, it has to be nuanced a little bit because the ending is apparently different than what he had intended, the author of Mark. Uh, but the implication is there that Jesus rose from the dead in Mark. And the other three Gospels more explicitly. However, people, Bart Ehrman, for example, will point out that the details in each of the four Gospels are not 100% the same. Um, one Gospel will say that at least Mary went to the tomb on that first Easter morning. Another Gospel will say that Mary and others went to the tomb. So there are different ways of reporting the same thing. Some things are not just are seemingly not just where one author will leave out something that another author includes, but it seems on the surface that some of the authors will contradict each other. Um, uh, when Jesus died, when was he crucified? Was it before the Passover or during the Passover? Was it after the Passover or during the Passover? I don't remember if it's. I think it's before, not after, but before or during the Passover. Well, I happen to subscribe to biblical inerrancy and biblical infallibility. So I would have a different way to understand such discrepancies. Did Jesus die on, I don't know, Thursday or Wednesday, or did he die on Sunday, or whatever the dating would work out if you compared it to the calendar, just before or during the 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 Passover celebration. So I personally would not say that was a contradiction. There would be some other way to understand that, but it does appear to be a contradiction. And even if we grant that it was a contradiction, it is a contradiction in a secondary detail. The main event that Jesus was crucified, that he did die on the cross, and that he did rise again, is consistent. Excuse me, in all four of the Gospels. So the fact that they're not identical would lend to their credence because in our everyday lives, including in my life about 2 months ago, different people will report something that they witnessed on the news, perhaps in my own case, or witnessed firsthand. People are not going to say the same thing. People may even contradict one another unintentionally if they remember things differently. Eyewitness testimony is not 100% infallible. There are things where people will read interpretations into things. In a debate between Michael Kona and a gentleman whose name escapes me at the moment, that I was recently watching or listening to, this person that Mike was debating said that people, if you study communications in college, you'll learn that if you start describing something to somebody, they there may be things that aren't explicitly part of the description, which are filled in by the person hearing the description. So if you say that people were killed, for example, uh, what the person is hearing that you're talking to is that people were shot. That was the example that was given in the debate. So that wasn't part of the description that they were shot. It was only part of the description that they were killed. So if one person says that they were shot, and then another person says, well, they were killed in some way, maybe they were stabbed to death, uh, that would be a contradiction in a detail, but there's still that fundamental agreement that this person was killed. So I just thought that was a good analogy, a good parallel to lend credence to the fact that we should not expect the Gospels to be 100% word for word identical in their detailings of the events surrounding the death and resurrection of Christ. Thank you for watching. Shalom.